easy seated warm up. I know we do lying warm up a lot in my class, but this will give us a chance to do something a little bit different. Well, let's first of all just come to a comfortable seated position. I am sitting in easy seat, but if that's not comfortable for you to sit for a few minutes, you're welcome to extend a leg or something, just whatever makes you comfortable. Also, just make sure that your hips are elevated with your sitting bones on the edge of a blanket, just so your back can be nice and elongated, regardless of what your legs are doing. So we'll just start out closing our eyes or softening our gaze. Just really start to settle in to where your body is making contact with the mat. Then turn your attention to your breath, just noticing what's happening. Maybe it's raggedy, maybe it's shallow. Just notice, don't change anything. And we'll start with a little box breathing. Done this before. It's just a very calming breath, but it can also help to just regulate any raggedness or anything like that you have in your breathing pattern. So we'll start, I'll count it out, but what we're going to do is inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. So we'll just continue to make that box. I'll count out the first couple and then of rounds, and then you can continue with about 3 rounds on your own count. So we'll inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, exhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4. Inhale 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4. Just continue with another 3 rounds on your own count. Now let's go ahead and just return our attention to our breath now that we're finished the little box breathing, and just see if it feels any different than it did before we did the box breathing. So for me, I notice my breathing's a little bit deeper, a little bit more relaxed, less ragged. You just decide how yours feels. We'll just go ahead and either open our eyes, just blink your eyes open. We'll start at the top, just warming up the neck a little bit. So we'll turn to the left. Notice how far your head is turning. Back to center, and then over to the right. Noticing how far it turns. Maybe the shoulders coming up a little bit around the chin. And then we'll come back to center. We're going to do those ear rubs. We'll take our thumb and forefinger and rub around the outside of the outer ear, all the way around to the lobe. Come back up again. If you have any little tender spots, just go ahead and stay on those a little bit longer. You're in charge of how much pressure you use. Bring our hands down, turn to the left, noticing if there's any difference in how things feel. Take a deep breath in, sigh it out, back to center, and then over to the right, noticing the same things. Deep breath in, and then exhale, back to center. We'll do that one more time. Ear rubs. This time you can add a little bit more. I like to take my forefinger and just rub it around the curvy parts of that outer ear. And then take and make a V shape between my middle and ring finger and bring that on either side of the ear and just massage up and down. You can even go down further in your neck, just helping with any lymph drainage in that area. We'll bring our hands down. We'll do that one more time with the head turns. Left, deep breath in, sigh it out, back to center, and then over to the right. Deep breath in, sigh it out, and then back to center. So then we'll drop that left ear to the left shoulder. Just let the weight of the head work. Right arm can come down, fingertips on the mat. And then if you want to add a little extra, bring the left hand just above the right ear, just adding the weight of the hand to the head, not pulling. Make sure you're breathing. And then bring the fingertips to the left side of the head and help the head back up. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. Right ear toward right shoulder. Left arm comes down, fingertips on the mat. And then right hand above the left ear. Walk the fingertips around, raise the head, and then just bring the hands to the knees. So now with the hands on the knees, we're going to do some seated cat-cow. So we're going to, first of all, bend our elbows a little bit, bringing the belly button toward the knees, bringing the shoulder blades on the back of the body together, coming into cow. You can look up where the ceiling meets the wall, not craning the neck too bad, but just looking up a little. Then we'll straighten the arms, round the back, nose comes toward the floor. And then we'll continue to just flow back and forth. Just doing some seated cat-cow just to start to bring a little movement into the back with some flexion and extension. This may feel really good depending on what you did over the weekend. And after our next round, we'll end with cat and then just come back up to seated. We'll keep our hands on our knees and do some barrel rolls. So we'll just start circling the torso. You can make the circles whatever size feels best. Then we'll pause and go in the other direction. We'll come back upright. Let's go ahead and bring the left hand to the mat. So we're going to be leaning over just a little bit. You can use your fingertips if you need to when we're first starting out. We're going to raise the right arm straight overhead. You're going to let the arm drop back into the shoulder. So we don't want to put any strain on the shoulder here. And then we're going to lean over toward the left using the hand as a brake. We want to make sure that that right sitting bone stays on the mat. We're reaching out through those fingertips to really stretch down the right side of the body. Sure, you're still breathing. Then we'll turn that hand toward the ceiling and sweep it back down. We'll do the same thing on the other side. You can bring the fingertips of the right hand to the mat at first. Sweep that left arm up. Drop the arm back in that shoulder socket. And then we'll lean over to the right, this time stretching down the left side of the body and using the right arm as a brake. Whatever you need, just make sure you're keeping that left sit bone grounded because that's going to help you stretch more through that left side. And you can decide, just notice where you're feeling the stretch. Maybe you're feeling it up in your armpit and side of the body up closer to your armpit, or maybe you're feeling it down in your hip. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. Turn the palm up, sweep the left arm down, and then we'll do some shoulder stretches from here. Left arm out to the side, sweep across the body, and then you can either scoop the right arm underneath like this, or you can cradle. If this bothers your left shoulder, just bend that elbow. We're stretching through that outer shoulder of the left side around to the shoulder blade. Pull the shoulder away from your ear. And then we'll turn and look off of that left shoulder. Go ahead and bring the gaze back to the center and gently release the left arm down. Do the same thing on the right side. Right arm sweeps across the body. Left arm comes underneath, either here or here. Again, bending the elbow if it bothers your shoulder. Shoulder away from the ear. And we'll turn and look off of the right shoulder. Gaze back to center and gently release the arm down. So we'll come on down. Oh, one more thing we want to do here before we lie down. We'll bring our arms down by our sides. We'll circle sweep the arms up and overhead. Turn the palms out and press down. Really reach through the fingertips, both on the sweeping up and the pressing down. So really reach up. So this time we're going to twist to the left. Right hand comes to the left knee. The left hand is right behind the hip. So we're twisting a little bit through the torso right now. We're sitting up really nice and tall. We'll take a deep breath in, exhale, and twist any amount more. So we may not twist to our fullest extent at this point during the class because we're just warming up. So don't force anything. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and turn twist any amount more. Now your head is going to be the last to turn. Make sure you're breathing. Twists are really good to massage the internal organs and help us with digestion and elimination. On our next inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, and we'll twist to the right. Same thing, make sure that that right hand is directly behind the right hip just to help us sit up nice and tall. Deep breath in and exhale and twist. Deep breath in and exhale and twist a little bit more. Head turns last. On our next inhale, we'll bring the arms up, sweeping them over the head, and then press the palms down. All right, we'll go ahead and come on down to our backs. Oh, before we do that, just lean back and windshield wiper your legs, especially if they were crossed for a long time. Just loosen them up a little bit. And then I promise this time, come on down to the mat. You know, I've changed my mind a couple of times there. All right. So come on down. We're just gonna settle into the mat a little bit here. You can either lie in corpse pose with your legs extended, or constructive rest with the knees bent, the feet on the floor. You can let the knees drop together here. Well, just to let the back really settle into the mat and be fully supported by the floor. And we'll walk our feet. We're going to bring our knees up toward the ceiling. If you had your legs extended, go ahead and bring their feet to the floor. We're going to do a little gentle windshield wipering. This is also going to twist the torso a little bit, but we're going to be very gentle about this. So let's go ahead and drop the knees over to the left. So what I want you to do is pick up your head and make sure that that right thigh is in line with the torso. So we want a straight line there. We're going to get a nice stretch through the thigh on the right side. Now, if you're not feeling much of a stretch, you may want to walk that right foot a little bit further off the side of the mat. Let that knee drop toward the mat. If you want a little bit more, you can press the knee toward the mat, letting that right hip come off the mat. So it doesn't have to stay grounded. Great. So bring the knees back toward the ceiling and then let them drop off to the right. Again, pick up your head, make sure that left leg is in line with your torso. You may have to walk that foot off the mat a little bit to line it up. Again, press the knee toward the mat. If you want, you can just let it hang out there if that feels good. But if you need a little extra, press the knee toward the mat and then let that left hip come off the mat. Go ahead and bring the knees back up. Then we'll do that one more time to each side. So again, just making sure everything's lined up. You'll notice that there is a little bit of a twist, especially if the hip is coming off the mat a little bit. Then we'll bring the knees back toward the ceiling and then over to the left. Knees back toward the ceiling. You can walk your feet and knees together. Let the knees drop apart, soles of the feet come together. We're in reclined cobbler pose. So we're getting an inner thigh stretch here. If this is too intense right now, take your fists and just place them under your upper thighs. That'll take a little bit of the intensity out of the sensation, but it's up to you how you want to do that, depending on how your body's feeling today. Make sure you're breathing. When you're ready, bring your hands to your legs, help the knees back together, and then we're going to draw one knee into the chest and then the other. So bring the knees into the chest as tight as you can get them. So I notice a little bit when I do this, I notice a little bit of a stretch in my low back. I feel it releasing a little bit, and that feels really good right now. I was really stiff in my low back when I got up this morning. So we're in that knees to chest pose or Apanasana. We'll bring in a little bellows breath here. So we'll bring our hands to our knees, let the knees drop away as we inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring the knees back in, squeezing the knees in to help us exhale a little more fully. So just continue. The next time you do an inhale and your knees drop away, keep your hands on your knees and just leave the knees away from the body. We're going to take the knees and start to make some circles. We want to use the strength of the hands and arms to do the circling and let the legs relax. So we're just going to start stirring the pot. Knees are going in the same direction. Try to let your hip flexors relax here. I know it's really hard. I have a really challenging time letting go. You don't have to make very big circles, but you'll notice that you also get a nice massage on that low back. And then pause and reverse your circles. Making them as small or as large as you need. And then we'll pause here. Bring the hands to the front of the shins, and then we'll add a rocking motion side to side. So again, we're still massaging through that low back. We also get to massage the kidneys and adrenals a little bit higher up. That can help with our immune system. It stimulates those organs. And then as we rock side to side, just let the momentum get larger and larger. So you're rocking a little bit closer to the floor on each side. And then at some point, just go ahead and let the momentum bring you to one side or the other. So once we're on our side, go ahead and extend the top leg straight. Bring the top hand to the mat and raise yourself up gently, gently coming to seated. We'll come on over to our hands and knees. If you're on a harder surface and you want to place a blanket underneath your knees for extra cushioning, feel free to do so. We're going to come into tabletop, do a few things here. So press those fingertips into the mat. Knees are under hips, wrists are under ankles, and those fingertips are pressing in. Do a few cat cows here, so drop the belly toward the mat. Raise the gaze, looking out at this wall in front of you. On the exhale, go ahead and round the back. Nose toward the navel, crown of the head toward the mat. And then just continue through. You'll notice we get a little bit more range of motion in this version of cat-cow than we did with the seated. Really press through the arms, especially on cat, so that you can get a nice elongation, through the spine as we round. Then we'll come back to stillness. We're going to go ahead and press back into child's rest just for a moment to take a little pressure off of the wrists. Now, once you get down here, you can rest your head down. You can bend your elbows and we can do some circling with the elbow or with the wrists, or you can even bend and extend your elbows a little bit. Then when you're ready, go ahead and bring yourself back up into tabletop. So from here, we're going to do a thread the needle. So we'll shift the weight into the right arm, circle sweep the left arm up and overhead. Oh, sorry. Let's extend our left leg straight out first. It was like something felt a little off. So sole of the foot's on the floor. And when we're in this part of the pose, you'll notice an inner thigh stretch from the extended leg. We're going to take and sweep that left arm up and overhead, stacking the shoulders. And then we're going to thread that left arm underneath the right 3 times. So again, you may notice an intensification of the stretch on the inner thigh as we thread the needle. You may even feel a little bit around the hamstring on that third thread the needle. Just go ahead and return to the stacked shoulder pose. Sweep the arm down, back to the floor, bring the knee back to the floor, extend the right leg straight out. So again, sole of the foot is on the mat, shift the weight into the right arm and left arm, circle sweep the right arm up and overhead. Stacking the shoulders. If you have trouble getting your shoulders stacked, bring the lower ribs forward. And then we'll thread the needle 3 times. Again, noticing how any sensation changes in your body. And on the last time, we'll hold here. And then sweep the arm down and the knee. And let's press back into child's rest one more time. Again, bending the elbows and circling the wrists. So now bring your hands to the mat. Just go ahead and press yourself to seated. And we'll come on to our blankets again. You can use a couple of blankets if you like. One is good. I encourage everyone to do to have their hips on a blanket. It really, really helps with the alignment. And grab your blocks as well. So we're going to start out, we're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. So we're going to bring our legs out into a V. We're going to make sure that our sitting bones are on the edge of that blanket, or even a bolster if you need a little bit more room. If you have something like this, you can do that. Usually 1 or 2 blankets are good for most. We're going to press out through the heels. So our feet are active here. Our legs are active. And we're going to hinge forward as we come up. We're really reaching through the crown of the head, but then we're going to just hinge forward in the hip crease, just right here. We don't want to round the back. You can use your hands as brakes. You probably won't come very far forward, and that's completely normal. Just notice you may be feeling a little bit of sensation in your hamstrings. Just continue to breathe. You may notice that you're coming forward a little bit more as gravity helps the backs of the legs to stretch out. Now, at this point, once you come forward a little bit more and you feel like you want to, you can round forward. However, if you have any degenerative discs in your back, you may want to stay with a flat back. I have a couple of degenerative discs in my back, and I know it feels better for me if I keep my back flat here. Like the rounding feels really good, but then when I come out of it, I do notice some a little discomfort. So I've learned to just work on the muscles on either side of my spine by keeping that straight back. And that's really helped everything feel a lot better. So just notice what's happening in your body and just make your adjustments as you need to. You can also use your blocks. If you do come forward a little bit more, you can stack your blocks and rest your arms down. If you choose to round down, you may be a little bit closer to the floor. But really notice what's going on in your body and adjust accordingly. All right. And when you're ready to come out, bring your hands to the mat and very slowly bring yourself back upright. Just take it really nice and slow. Move your blocks out of the way. Bring your hands behind you. You can bend your knees and bring your heels to the mat. And then we'll just do a little windshield wiper here. All right. Then we're going to come on back down to the mat and do some twisting. As I mentioned, twisting is really good for digestion and elimination. We're coming off of a holiday weekend, so that can be very much needed. Just come on down if you want to place that blanket under your head for support. Just make sure your head doesn't feel thrown back. So if it does feel thrown back a little bit, definitely add the blanket. So once we get here, let's bring our feet to the floor, knees bent. We'll just do a few pelvic tilts here, just pressing that low back into the mat. And then when we release, we're not forcing anything, we're just letting it return to its normal curve. So press the low back and release. Press the low back into the mat and release. Low back into the mat and release. All right, so bring the let's bring the left leg to the floor. We're going to do some crocodile twists. So with the strength of our right foot, pick up our hips, move them a couple of inches to the right. Right foot goes on top of the left thigh, and the left hand guides the knee into the twist. You'll notice that since we moved our hips a little bit, our hips can stack when we go into the twist. We'll bring the right arm out into a T. Now, we are trying to keep that right shoulder on or close to the mat so that we get a really nice twist through the torso. So you can make this a little bit active. So as you inhale, you can come out of the twist just slightly. And as you exhale, you can go in a little more deeply. So just play around and just figure out what feels really good for you, especially given, how your body feels today. What you did last week or yesterday in yoga may not be the same as what you can do today. So really honor where your body is. You can look off of those right fingertips too, if you like. Just continuing that twist up through the cervical spine. If it doesn't feel good, just look at the ceiling. On our next exhale, just release the knee, let everything unwind. Bring both feet to the mat and recenter yourself in the middle of the mat. You may have to look up and make sure you're not going crooked. And we'll extend that right leg straight on the mat. Use the left foot to pick up the hips, move them a couple of inches to the left, left foot on right thigh, and the right hand guides the knee into the twist. Left arm goes out into a T. And again, we're trying to keep that left shoulder on or near the mat. Make it active if you like. Inhaling and releasing a little bit, exhaling and going in deeper. Look off of the left shoulder, left fingertips if you like. On our next exhale, just go ahead and release the knee. Let everything unwind. Both feet come to the mat and readjust ourselves. Coming to the center of the mat again. And then we'll draw one knee into the chest and then the other, coming into that knees to chest pose again. This time I want you to let your knees drop out to the sides a little bit. So the knees will be coming more toward the armpits. Just squeeze those knees in. You can even let the legs drop away from each other. And if your elbows come to the ground, that's fine. Then we'll bring the knees back together and we'll just add a rocking motion. So this is our Apanasana with rocking. Giving a massage. If you would like to modify this into a happy baby, you can bring the soles of the feet toward the ceiling. Hands can grasp behind the knees or around on the inner or outer edge of the feet. You can continue to rock or you can stay still. It's completely up to you. You can bring the soles of the feet together, doing a reclined cobbler. I also like to grab my big toes and just extend one leg and then the other. That always feels really good to me. Just whatever feels good. Then I'm going to go ahead and come up to get ready for meditation and Shavasana. You go ahead and do whatever else your body feels like it needs today to get ready for that. So, and as usual, be thinking about what you'd like to, what position you'd like to be in for meditation and Shavasana. Of course, we'll be here for a few minutes. So I always recommend something that's very supportive, Maybe you have a bolster or a rolled up blanket underneath your knees, maybe blocks underneath your knees. You can do a side lying meditation in Shavasana, just whatever position feels best for you. You can lie flat in corpse pose or in constructive rest, just whatever feels best. I want you to be able to relax completely into the support that you have so that you can let go and really take some time for yourself. So as you find your comfortable position, allow your body to settle into the support beneath you. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. Soften your jaw and allow your breath to flow naturally. During the meditation, healing energy will be flowing to each of you. With each exhale, imagine the weight of the day melting down into the earth. Tension, effort, and heaviness dissolving as your body opens to rest. Bring your awareness to your feet. Sense the ground beneath them. Gently press your heels down and then release, feeling the rebound of support. Imagine crystalline roots extending from the soles of your feet, sparkling quartz like roots reaching deep into the earth. Feel the stability rise back up into your legs, hips, and spine, grounding you in safety and steadiness. In your mind's eye, see yourself standing before a luminous cathedral made entirely of crystals. Its walls rise high, refracting light into 1,000 rainbows. The entrance glows softly, beckoning you. As you inhale, lift your chest slightly, as if breathing into the invitation of this sacred space. On the exhale, let your shoulders soften and step forward into the image. The atmosphere inside is cool, serene, and infused with shimmering light. The floor beneath you is smooth amethyst. Feel into the back of your legs, pressing gently into the surface you're on now, anchoring you in calm and balance. Let your gaze travel along the crystalline walls of clear quartz. Imagine their facets amplifying your own inner clarity. With each inhale, draw the brightness of the quartz into your chest. With each exhale, feel your mind clear, thoughts loosening their grip. Now imagine looking upward. The vaulted ceiling glows with beams of selenite, pearly and luminous. Gently lengthen the back of your neck, feeling the subtle lift in your crown as if aligning with that vertical stream of light. Breathe it in, cool, spacious, and divine. As you continue, you notice towering rose quartz pillars. Bring a hand to your heart and linger there. Feel the warmth of your palm connecting to your chest, as if the rose quartz energy were radiating directly into you. Allow your breath to soften here and sense a wave of gentleness, self-love, and tenderness flowing through your being. Head, shimmering pools of aquamarine invite you closer. Imagine cupping your hands and scooping up the cool blue waters. If it feels right, lightly rub your palms together or brush them over your arms as if washing yourself in this liquid light. Feel any lingering worry or heaviness being rinsed away, leaving you refreshed and renewed. At the center of the cathedral stands a luminous altar of labradorite, its surface alive with shimmering hues of blue, green, and violet. Sit before it, lengthen your spine just a little, feeling regal and steady. As you breathe, imagine the colors of the labradorite streaming into your third eye, your heart, and your belly, awakening intuition, strengthening your inner light, and illuminating your path. Rest here. With each inhale, draw in the clarity of quartz, the compassion of the rose quartz, the peace of the selenite, and the cleansing flow of aquamarine, and the wisdom of labradorite. With each exhale, let go of what is no longer needed. Soften your belly, unclench your hands, and allow your breath to carry away the residue of strain. Now surrender fully. Let your body grow heavy and still, as though reclining with the very heart of this crystalline sanctuary. The cathedral holds you, shelters you, and mirrors the brilliance of your own soul. Float in this embrace of light and stone, radiant and eternal, until the sound of my voice gently calls you back. Again, bringing your attention back to the room. Start to bring some gentle movement into your body, wiggling fingers and toes, bending knees and elbows. And when you're ready, you can roll to one side for our pose of transition. Start to return to your normal breathing pattern and give yourself gratitude for taking this time to nurture yourself. As you move forward into the flow of your day, can carry the radiance of your crystal cathedral sanctuary with you. When you're ready, very slowly and gently press yourself up to seated. Bring our arms down by our sides, palms facing away from the body. We'll circle sweep our arms up and overhead, palms to touch in Anjali Mudra. We'll bring our thumbs to our third eye point, reminding us to live with an open mind. We'll bring our thumbs to lips to remind us to speak kind words, not only to others, but especially to ourselves. And then thumbs to heart center to remind us to live with peace and gratitude. The teacher in me honors the teacher in you. Namaste.